The night before my first day was a bit chaotic. My trousers were much too long, and I didn't have a white shirt or a dark tie. So my father said he could get thrown out for that, but I managed to persuade him that any colour shirt would do, and they weren't fussy about ties either.
Well, on my first day I was naturally enough a little apprehensive, but I was soon made to feel part of the branch and made welcome, really.
My first day I was terrified to start with, but once inside the actual branch and meeting other members of staff, you soon feel one of the family.
Coming straight from school, obviously I was apprehensive, but virtually as soon as I got through the door, my fears were dispelled because the staff are so friendly towards you.
On my first day, as you can imagine, I was very nervous, but as soon as I got in, everyone was very friendly, took me in hand, I suppose, showed me over the place, and were just generally very good.
Coming up to the bank and actually ringing the bell, I think that was the worst part. I came in and we met everybody and looked round. When you got in, it wasn't so bad, they were all friendly.
In the morning, chaos again. Mum was rushing round, brushing my suit, saying, "Don't be late, say sir to everybody." So when I rang the bell, this chap came out. I immediately thought it might be the manager, so I just called him sir. It turned out to be the messenger, and he said, "Nobody calls me sir, you'd better come in."
Michael and Lee.
Morning.
Martin, welcome to Barclays.
Thank you.
Let me introduce you to two colleagues, Tony Cooper and David Witchell.
I thought the manager, being top person in the bank and working all his life there, would be a little god. And I'd only see him when I joined and when I left. But he's very friendly. You can chat to him, see him about things. Very friendly.
Carol, this is Martin Angelini. Just joined the staff this morning. Carol is the machining supervisor. We'll look after you.
Enjoy yourself.
Please.
So, Caroline, Assistant Martin is going to be with us for a few months in the Met Room.
Hello.
The junior. That's come, I'll show you together. Valerie, this is Martin. He'll be working with you and Elsa and the junior. I'll leave him with you, all right? We're going to file these checks in name.
I thought it would be very repetitive, but it's not bad at all, really, because you're doing the same job but a different aspect of it. My filing's terrible. I'm always putting the wrong checks in the wrong places, which means that when I come to send out a statement, I spend all my time hunting through the drawers for one insignificant little check, and that puts me 2 hours behind everybody else. Cashier's the next thing I hope for. I used to work in a shop. I found meeting people was great fun. You get to know them. Well, I suppose my ambition is to get to manager, but that'll take a few years yet. Just to get on as far as I can. It's all very friendly. If there's a social going on, somebody gets invited. There's always something going on.
When I'm working the machine, it's the credits. People have been in, paying in credits. It's the cash and the checks that they've paid in. I'm crediting it to their accounts.
I only had CSEs. I was taking O-levels, but I moved around so much, so I only took the CSEs. A lot of people think that bank jobs, you know, it's boring all day and then at 3:30 you go home, but it isn't at all like that. Every day's different.
I think it's a job I like, and you move on, so you're doing other jobs. So you move on to cashiering from there, and then you do supervising eventually.
Most of the staff go out to our rest room, and some bring sandwiches, or we have a stove out there we can heat up soup or cook a pie or something.
We all sit around on lounge chairs and general talk, or read or knit, whatever we fancy do.
It's only just started driving, isn't it? Well, a lot. When he's been driving 4 months.
Oh, I think we're nearly through now, actually.
The bank has one of the swimming pools on a Friday night for an hour, so we all sometimes go swimming. But there's always a lot there, because they're from other banks go as well, you see. It's not just us there, so there's always quite a few there. I've gone with one of my friends. You can take a friend with you, you see. And the bank manager usually goes, Mr. Scott.
Good.
Oh, smashing. If you could pick me up, it'd be lovely. Yeah, thank you.
Cheers.
After I'd been on the machine 2 months, they sent me on a machinist course. You know the basic things, but there's always a few things that need smoothing over. And you'll always learn, and you'll come back more confident and feeling that you can cope with any situation that comes up. I found I met a lot of people from different branches all over the country and became quite friendly with the people on the courses. Now I keep in touch with the same girls as I went on my course with and find out how they have got on when they got back from their course.
Well, I won't leave, you know. But I haven't been taking exams or anything, but I don't think I'd leave the bank. I'd never leave it for another job, I don't think.
Whilst coming on the course, you board with hosts. I personally live near enough, but if you do, you get all your expenses paid, and you feel as if you're at home, really. It's a family atmosphere all the time. I joined the bank because I wanted a career with good prospects, somewhere, a job where I could get somewhere, make something of my life. With the cashier's course, you have both the theory and the practice. You're instructed the basics of the cashiering, and then you put that into practice on the till. Either you're the customer on one side being served, or the cashier itself. Being customer helps you to understand more when you actually go back to the branch and start serving. When you're cashiering, you meet people, and this makes it more important, the fact that you're actually giving someone a service in a friendliest manner as possible. Qualifications, I had 7 O-levels, but 4 O-levels were only required, the 2 important ones being maths and English, and under those qualifications any boy could come into the bank.
Thanks very much. Bye.
As with any job, there are boring times, and I think this really encourages you to work your way out of it and go on to a different job, because there are so many different jobs in the bank.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so if you take them, and then there's those up there as well. Despite the fact that it's such a large concern, each individual branch has its own character, and you are in fact a family. You all work for one another, and you tend to forget the other branches, and Barclays is you, your branch. The next job, I hope, is being on the foreign desk and securities. Everybody in time progresses to that from cashiering, and I hope to, as everyone else does, get to that job in time.
I enjoy working on the foreign till myself. Every day brings a different problem, either by a customer comes in, always got a different query, phone calls, just the post itself. Everything, there's something different to be answered or sorted out for a variety of people.
Can we borrow? She likes to borrow about £80.
Yeah. I was a bit restless after I'd been in the bank about 2 or 3 years, and I went to the local government. I didn't like it. To get there and just sort of get in at 9 o'clock and leave at 5 without any aim, it just didn't suit me. So I came back. Here you've got, I mean, there are things that have got to be done. Until they're done, you can't go. So I think, you know, at the end of the day, you feel like you've cleared everything, and tomorrow's a sort of a fresh day. Can you come back any time? I think the time will come when and if I have a family that I'd probably like to come back into banking. I know there's sort of opportunities of cashiers and also full-time if I'm prepared to look at the new ways of things later on. Miss Nee at my till, she wants to borrow, well, she wants if we can help her. She's got to pay between £50 and £80 towards rent. She's been waiting for some money from Tokyo, Japan. I think there are equal prospects for both men and women at the bank. In the case of my husband and I, both doing the same job now.
With staff always leaving, or women getting married or having children, it causes a regular turnover of staff, and so people move up the ladder. As supervisor, my main job is to make sure the bookkeeping section runs smoothly, also that the girls who work under me are happy in their job. My job is to answer for any mistakes that are made. I do not have direct contact with the customer. My main dealings are over the phone, dealing with queries. Occasionally I am called to the counter if there are problems concerning the statement. I had 7 O-levels, English language, mathematics. It was a help to understand figures. Most of the actual calculations are done by the machines now. I do try and vary the jobs. I might have one girl working one machine for 1 week and then swap them over so they see the different machines. The computer plays a large part in it because most of the bookkeeping is done through the computer now. Obviously I've got to understand how it all works to be able to answer the problems. Because I still find the work varied and interesting. I'm still happy here, so I haven't thought about a change.
When I joined the bank at the age of 19, I had behind me 1 A-level and 8 O-levels. As security clerk, I deal daily with professional people of all kinds, solicitors, accountants, officials of the stock exchange. I look after documents of worth, these might well be life policies or deeds. I have several branch loans, the most important of which perhaps is the housing loan, which I do get at a preferential rate. Thanks, please. Now, Miss Jackson, how can we help you?
Well, I'm going on a cruise in approximately 6 weeks' time, and I was wondering about the possibility of a small overdraft of, say, £50.
As part of my duties, I am required to lend small amounts to customers, temporary overdrafts. These might well be for holidays, car purchase.
At the end of this month.
How much roughly is your monthly salary?
Or about 120.
£120. Well, I think the bank can help you out in this case, Miss Jackson. And we'll mark an overdraft limit of £50 on the account until the beginning of next month.
Oh, good. Thank you very much.
The work isn't interesting the whole time. I don't think it can be. The job does entail a lot of office routine, but I think the changes of job that one perhaps goes through takes us away.
Bob, is it okay to cash this cheque?
Mr. Fisher, what's he got in his account?
£3.
£3. Yes, that's all right.
Okay.
I've taken 8 parts of the banker's exams to date and passed 8 parts. I think they are very essential, and the more I get on in the exams, the more relevant they are to the work that I'm doing.
I myself haven't taken any exams. When I first came into the bank, they didn't seem so important to me then. But of course now I wish I had done them.
Reference RH. A note in the records of Miss A. Jackson, please. The bank has many social sides. We have several dances, discotheques, barbecues.
And all the sports you could want to play are possible to play through Barclays. Hockey, football, rugby, whatever you in fact want to play.
my right-hand side, overdraft. My prospects are very good, I feel at the moment. Junior branch management within several years, and who knows from there.
I shall stay in the bank because my prospects are very good and I enjoy it.
Have a nice weekend.